Into match number 5 we go now for the European qualifiers for the World Cup in 2026, with some nations getting the campaign off to a start, and some nations resuming, of course, edging closer to the World Cup, who, of course, will take full advantage. We're going to get into it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at match number 5, of course, over in the European qualification campaign for the World Cup in the USA, Canada and Mexico. Some nations are back in action, some nations getting off for the first time. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. If you know, where you been? Smash your subscribe. You want subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, European qualifiers, World Cup itself. Goodness gracious me. We're going to cover it from here all the way through to the final in the USA, Mexico, Canada next summer. What am I talking about? Well, we'll talk about it in detail in a second. Big shout out to the members of the patrons. You know who you are. What we're going to do now, though, is bring it bang up to date with the tables, showcase where we are. And of course, let's get into the next round of games. All right then, folks, let's get into the meat of the matter and tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this, guys. Of course, as you can see it, some nations yet to get going. Groups A, B, and C being prime example of that. There are other groups as well. But basically, finish top, you go through to the World Cup. You finish second, you go through to a playoff. And of course, your World Cup journey just keeps going on and on. You finish third and fourth, guess what? Your dream is over. So in Group A, we have Germany, Luxembourg, Northern Ireland, and Slovakia to kick it all off. In Group B, we have Kosovo, Slovenia, Sweden, and Switzerland. A very, very tricky Group B there. Group C sees Belarus, Denmark, Greece, and Scotland. Kicking on forward into Group D. Again, a lot of nations here still yet to get going. Azerbaijan, France, Iceland, and the Ukraine. Group E sees Bulgaria, Georgia, Spain, and Turkey. In Group F, we have Armenia, Hungary, Portugal, and Ireland. All yet to get going so far. But deep down in the older lower echelons of the older qualification groups here, we have Group G, which are well and truly in the mixer here. Of course, they have played 4 matches. They've got 7 points on the board so far. And currently, if it was to end today, they would be going to the World Cup. But the Netherlands are playing catch-up. They've won 2 wins out of 2, and they're free scoring right now. So keep an eye on the Dutchies in Group G. Poland got a bit of work to do as well. Meanwhile, Group H has Bosnia in charge right now, 3 wins out of 3. And again, Austria playing catch-up with just the 2 games played so far in Group H. Group I sees Norway bossing it with 4 wins out of 4 in a very, very, heavy top set there with Israel and Italy all trying to compete, I think, to qualify. So you would think 2 from those 3 to definitely be in for the shout. Into Group J, we see North Macedonia top the charts. They're unbeaten so far in the first 4 games. Belgium playing catch-up, of course, with a Welsh team that's also doing A-OK at the moment. Group K sees England with 3 wins out of 3. Yet to concede a goal, but yet to really get going. Serbia got a couple of games as well in hand. Group L sees Czechia in charge ahead of Croatia. Again, a couple of games to be played. Alrighty then, folks. Now, we are focusing on matches taking place on Saturday, September the 6th here today. If you want to check out the other games back on Friday and Thursday, those ones have already been posted on their own separate video. And we'll be back for the next round of games, of course, for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So, these are it. Only a handful of them, 6 of them to get into it, but some big ones none the same. We start with UEFA Nations League champions, Portugal, taking on Armenia, coming at the Wagen Republic Stadium. John Van Schip is the coach there for Armenia, who's just won once in the last 6 against Portugal. And Roberto Martinez just won defeat in the last 6. They played 4 times in 2007, these 2 nations. 3 wins Portugal, nothing for Armenia. There's been 1 draw. Now, Armenia may have yet to get a win, but they have scored 3 goals against Portugal, picking up a 0.75 goals a game on average. Portugal, on the flip side, with a 3-2 win themselves. That's been their highest, scoring 6 goals in total against Armenia, 1.50 goals a game. Now, the last time they played, it was back in June 2015. 3-2 winners it was for Portugal. Again, like I said, 3 wins on the spin for Portugal heading into this. But they did, last match for them was a big victory over Spain, penalty shootout to win the Nations League. As for Armenia, their last match, a 2-2 scoreline against Montenegro. They have scored in the last 3 games at least. So they know where the back of the net is. Of course, they are massively fancied on this one. And of course, I'm going with the bookies as well. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Portugal to add a bit more kudos to the name heading into the World Cup next year, of course. Meanwhile, Ireland, they're taking on Hungary, coming at you over in the Aviva Stadium. Ireland under Hilmar Halgrisson. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They sit top right now. But no, of course, this group is yet to get going. According to my data, I guess Hungary, who are in also trying to get the campaign off to a start here, just 1 win in the last 6. Now, they played 3 times to 2012, these 2 nations. 1 for Ireland, nothing for Hungary. There's been 2 draws. Ireland's won and only win. It was a 2-1 win, scoring 2 goals in total, 0.67 goals a game on average. Hungary, just the 1 goal scored, 0.33 goals a game. Now, typically, this they played 3 matches. 2 of those 3 have ended up all square. The last time they played was a 2-1 win for Ireland back in June 2024. Ireland on the back of back-to-back draws, drawing at home to Senegal and most recently on the road to Luxembourg. As for Hungary, a 2-1 win over Azerbaijan to come into this. And I don't really know about the coach in this situation. Of course, they did have a good Nations League campaign toward the back end of it, beating Finland, beating Bulgaria twice. I don't know. I think the jury's still out on this coach in here. They need to get a good win against Hungary. The bookies, I find it tight. It's very difficult to call here. It is, and I agree. But I'm going to lean towards Ireland for the W on this one. 2-1 win. It might go the other way. This is probably one of the games I'm most unsure about heading into. All 3 match days here. Or 3 calendar days or whatever. You know what I mean? Anyway, Austria coming at you. They're taking on Cyprus, coming at you over in the Raffenstein Arena there. Austria under Ralf Rangnick, just one defeat in the last 6 against Cyprus under Apollos Maniosos. Just one win in the last 5. They played 3 times since 1998. 2 wins Austria, 1 win for Cyprus. There's been no draws between these 2 sides. Austria with a 3-0 win on the record. They got 10 goals scored against Cyprus over the last 3. Picking up a 3.33 goals a game on average. Cyprus a 5-4 victory against them. I'm not too sure about that. I don't. The legitimacy of that scoreline is wrong. Maybe just the legitimacy of the goals per game ratio is false, because it is a 4-3 penalty shootout victory for Cyprus. That was back in February 2005. So maybe not. I think on average, you're looking at it, you got 6 goals scored here by Austria over the 3 games, 2 goals a game on average, I would say, for Austria. And as for Cyprus, we're talking 0.5 goals a game on average. So scrap all the other stuff. Anyway, Austria coming in just on the back of that 4-0 win over San Marino. Cyprus losing on the road to Romania most recently. And Austria on the bookies' odds here, they should win this game. And as of for me, I'm also going for a victory for Austria. 3-1 win. Cyprus are a decently growing nation. They're getting stronger. Paphos just qualified for the Champions League group. Yeah, they're getting better. There it is. On the 6th of September, it's San Marino. It's Bosnia-Hrz at the San Marino Stadium. Roberto Cirioli, they're coming into this without a win in the last 5 matches up against Bosnia-Hrz under Sergi Babez. Just 1 defeat in the last 5. They played 3 times in 2005. Nothing for San Marino, 3 for Bosnia-Hrz. And there's been no draws. It was Bosnia's biggest win over San Marino, just a 3-0 win. They scored 7 goals against them, 2.33 goals a game on average. San Marino, just the 1 goal against Bosnia-Hrz, 0.33 goals a game. They last played, it was in Bosnia back in June 2025. It was a 1-0 win for Bosnia-Hrz, just a 1-0 win. Meanwhile, they did play in San Marino way back in 2005. It was a 3-0 win for Bosnia-Hrz. The visitors are expected to win this game. I've got no odds on this one, but I do anticipate a big win, 4-0 win to break the record books, unfortunately at the expense of San Marino. Into the final couple, we got Latvia. They're taking on Serbia, also on Saturday the 6th of September. The Dugova Stadium, Latvia under Paolo Nicolato. Just 1 defeat in the last 4. Up against Serbia under Dragan Stojkovic. 67% form for them right now, unbeaten in at least the last 6. They've never played each other, according to my data. Latvia on the back of a draw against Albania most recently. Back-to-back draws for them. Up against Serbia with a 3-0 win over Andorra. And then on the back of 3 successive clean sheets. Serbia expected to win this game in Latvia. I'm also going to go along that grain as we're going to go with a victory for Serbia, of course, to take the 3 points and put the pressure on England. That's right, who will close up this one as they take on Andorra. This one's coming at you at Villa Park, of course, mixing it up a little bit. Thomas Tuchel's boys are top of the pops right now with 9 points for them. They're on the back of a defeat, though, against Andorra under Koluk Alvarez. Winless in the last 6. They played 7 times in 2006. England's biggest win, 6-0 win, scoring 26 goals in those 7 matches, 3.71 goals a game on average. Andorra yet to win, yet to score, yet to do anything against them. They did play back in June 2025. It was just the 1-0 win for England on the road. They've scored, like I said, a whole handful of goals against them. They did lose to Senegal most recently in a friendly, not great, not the greatest build-up for Thomas Tuchel's era right here, right now. Andorra on the back of a 3-0 loss to Serbia. And again, haven't scored a goal at least the last 6 games on this one. England expected to tub thump Andorra into next week here with a win. Going to go big on this one, I think. Going to go with it's not really big, is it? It's 4-0 win, but they should. If they're going to get their fans on the side, put 6 or 7 past them, if anything. But that's it, guys. That completes match day number 5. Of course, we'll be back for match number 6 for all their separate days very, very soon. Quick and fast. Like I like it. Anyway, until then, I'll see you soon whenever I return, but that is next.